Hello, America. This is Keith, your friendly neighborhood technician, coming at you with some wonderful information today. So, you just went out and bought that first new steam dryer that you've never had, and you're learning how to fit it. You want to know how to put it together. Well, I'm here to show you. Now, when you buy it, you're going to get something that looks about like this. It could be plastic, could be metal, could be this, but we're going to show you how to do it correctly. Now, I'm going to use the cold water because this is what I have available right now, but for you, consult the manufacturer's desire for which is hot or cold to use. Some may say hot, some may say cold. Consult the instruction manual, that will tell you which one to use. So what you're going to do is, this would normally be my cold water line to my washer. Well, that's what this is for. This goes on first. Okay, you put this on. Okay, the reason you're doing this is because you don't want to put this directly on your water valve. You don't have any way to move, so this gives you a little extension out from your water valve in the house. Make sure you tighten. Okay. Okay. Now, you don't want to crush tighten it, but you want it tight. Okay. Then comes your water lines. This is now going to go to my washer. Obviously, I don't have a washer here, but it's going to go to my washer, and this one here is going to go to my dryer. Now I have my Y valve. What this is for is allows water to go both directions. So now I'm going to get this on. Okay? Now, if you can't thread these on more than halfway by hand, it's not on right. You need to make sure that you can go at least halfway or more on. Otherwise, you're cross-threading. And metal on metal, not a big deal because it'll stick on you. Now, if you have plastic, which we'll see down here, and you can't put it on manually more than halfway with your fingers, you're going to cross-thread it, which means you're going to leak, which means you're going to be very unhappy. Okay, now we're set up to add our water lines. This we're going to pretend goes to our washer, which is basically next to this one. Put it on, okay, and now it's on. That's going to go to our washer. Now, I have this one, which is a metal line, which actually is nice because I have a little L line, which means I'm not going to be coming straight out of my unit. I'll show you what I mean by that in a little. So now I'm going to put this one on, okay? I'm going to do all this pretty much before I install my washer and dryer, just so I have more room to stand right in front of the water lines. You want to make sure you don't do this right like this because you're going to block your vent. You can't do that. So you want to make sure you are out of the way of your vent, okay? Now if you're coming from the other direction, it could be possibly like this, or like above it, or below it. But make sure you're not directly sideways, okay? So you want to come in, and like I said, and if you can't more than half the way in, okay, you're not in right.
Keith, do you put Teflon tape on any of these connections?
You should. You don't have to. That's a personal preference. I know plumbers, some say do, some say don't. It's if you're comfortable doing it, doing it. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't. The myth is it's called steam dry. Well, technically it's not steam. What it does, it adds a little bit of spray of water in there, just like a little spray bottle, and then it lets the clothes help them become non-wrinkly, okay? There are a few manufacturers that have what's called a steam generator that actually puts steam in the unit, but for the most part, most of them just put in water. Obviously, your hose is that big, your nozzle is that big, you're gonna get a pretty good spray out of it, okay? So now, I have this connected here, I have this connected here. Obviously, it's not put into position, but I wanna check for water leaks because like I said, if you don't check for it when you do it and you have a leak, you won't know until it's way too late and cause a lot of issues. So now, I'm gonna turn my water on. Check your valve up here, check for water. Obviously I don't have any here, my water's on. Follow it down, okay? And then you're gonna check here, okay? Okay, well, I have a little bit of leak, so I'm a little bit not tight enough. But do you wanna check it? Feel it, and you can see it. If you have an issue, okay, use paper towel. Paper towel or tissue paper really shows if you have water. If you use a towel, a regular towel or a bath cloth, you may or may not see it. But paper towel or tissue, I guarantee you if it gets wet, you're gonna notice it. So the fact that I have a little bit of water here, okay, that could have been a couple days, but I wanna make sure it's dry. Give it a second or two. Don't just, okay, it's not leaking. Give it a couple seconds, check it out. Kinda don't jiggle it, but make sure it's tight, make sure it's not moving, get under there, okay, we're dry. So it's actually not leaking. And that's all you do. Now, gently, carefully push it back into place because what you don't want to do is crunch something or cause something to go. But now that you know you're not leaking, you're good to go. Get your dryer, and you should have an awesome day. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Come back for some more wonderful information, and have a good day.